Good day, friends. Today again I want to say a few words about Poland. With a little introduction. A month or two ago, I was reproached by members of the Polish opposition for speaking too harshly about their country and making apocalyptic predictions. When I say Poland, in a negative context, primarily I mean the corrupt power of this country, the state. It should be taken as a metonymy. I cannot be a Pole hater by nature. My grandmother is Polish, so I am 1/4 of a Pole. But I am a man of principle and I have an unambiguous attitude to the current Polish politics. Even if you take a quick look at history, a trend is clearly visible. Poland has always had more aggression in relations with Belarus. For example, no one here even mentions territorial claims to Białystok. Whereas in Poland the topic of annexation of Grodno and Brest is always very relevant. We know how after World War II, the so-called damned soldiers on the territory of Poland massacred whole villages of Belarusians. Were there such incidents in Belarus? I have never heard about them. I have never heard of Belarusians brutally slaughtering a Polish village, or killed a Pole simply out of hatred. Even our anthem begins with beautiful words, "We are Belarusians, peaceful people." Does at least one Pole living in Belarus feel disadvantaged today? No. Look at the Polish school in Grodno. When I showed this photo to Muscovites, they said it was a palace. But despite the constant care of the state, Polish public associations have always had a hidden agenda instead. We remember the Polish school in Brest, where children were taught to praise Polish nationalists who killed Belarusians. And it's not a single incident. Poland's aggression has been growing lately. They have already gone so far as to erect an iron wall on the border. The shaky trust has once again turned into an iron curtain. They fence themselves off and that's fine. That's their problem. But no. They regularly stage provocations at the border. There were quite a few occasions when Polish border guards fired at our country's coats of arms on border posts. The pro-Polish media is doing everything possible to create a hostile image of our country. Fugitive Belarusian political pawns help them with special zeal. But this card was beaten with a serious trump card. On July 1st, a temporary visa-free regime was introduced for Polish citizens. It will be valid till the end of the year. Can you imagine what it means to the authorities in Poland? It is a bomb. Now ordinary Poles can find out for themselves the whole truth about the horrors of the bloody regime. And more Poles are coming. My friend stood at the border for 6 hours, incredibly long lines. In powerless anger, the Polish authorities began to mock people. From July 1st to September 15th, Polish authorities imposed a ban on staying within 200 meters of the Polish-Belarusian border. There is a fine for violation. Recently, a Polish writer, Ph.D. Mirosław Miniszewski and his wife were detained at the border. They were detained by 10 military officers, who arrived by truck and ATV to the lake, where the writer decided to go fishing. The couple were held at gunpoint for about an hour until a border patrol officer arrived on the scene. He then conducted an inspection of the vehicle, but when the woman asked for an inspection report, he said there was none. What is this? How can this be explained? Are they afraid of being infected with the bloody regime virus? The apotheosis is military activism. The militarization of Poland has been hyperactive. According to Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Belarus Major General Ruslan Kosygin, the Polish leadership intends to increase military spending to at least 3% of the gross domestic product from 2023, as well as accelerate the acquisition of American-made assault weapons. In an interview with Belarus Today, Kosygin said that modernization of 5 airfields has been completed: Malbork, Poznan-Krzyżany, Myroslawiec, Minsk-Mazowiecki, and Lask. Work continues at 4 more similar sites: Powice, Kraków-Balas, Dublin, Swidwin. Naval bases and ports are being actively modernized, which increases the capacity to receive military cargoes, landing, and attack ships of the alliance. As you understand, huge funds from Poland's budget for armaments and military infrastructure are spent for a reason, and certainly not for defense purposes. I do not even want to think about the terrible scenario, but a quote by Chekhov somehow involuntarily comes to mind: if in the first act of the play there is a gun hanging on the wall, then in the last act it should definitely go off. I very much hope that sensible people in Poland will be able to resist the development of the bloody scenario. And those who have neither common sense nor conscience should be guided at least by the instinct of self-preservation. Thank you, dear friends, for your attention, and this is UVAROV. I will see you again soon, and we will talk. As always, frankly.